Terrific lineup. Alina Zagitova, who was so outstanding in China a couple of weeks ago. She'll be in the opening group.
I suspect Загитова will give her a run for her money. Sitskova's in the mix as well. We've seen last week that Medvedeva is not a guaranteed Olympic title. Had here representing them and expecting or hoping to get on the podium. It'll be a tough event. Here, how many of the ladies will guarantee to have fully rotated jumps that will make a big impact on the score sheets? She'll be scrutinizing every jump landing.
So this is the 5th of the 6 ISU Grand Prix events. One more still to come. That's next week in Lake Placid in the States. But this should be a fascinating confrontation here in the second group, but it could well be, in fact we're expecting the winner to come out of the first group with Alina Zagitova.
Yeah, we've got dibs on Загитова clinching the title. She, one of this group of such strong young Russian ladies. She too showed in her first Grand Prix at the senior level some vulnerability, but that may be nerves at taking to the stage on the senior circuit. I expect that she's going to be increased confidence from her successes earlier in the Grand Prix circuit.
So in this opening group we have Paulina Edmonds from the States, Nicole Scott from Germany, Berenice Maite from France, Yuna Shiraiwa from Japan, and Alina Zagitova from Russia. As you can see, it's sparsely attended here. Freezing cold outside, it's -7 degrees. Grenoble in the Alps, southeastern France. And delighted to have this opportunity to bring the best skaters in the world. There is Zagitova, looking ready. She was born ready.
Yeah, I think so. And you can see there she's trying to make sure that she stays warm. This is the tough moment for the skaters. The International Skating Union has offered them this chance to be introduced to the crowd on all of the Grand Prix. It's a new feature to the event. We like the fact that the skaters are being welcomed to the crowd. It increases the anxious waiting moments.
Paulina Edmonds, the first to go, 19 years of age. Haven't seen her for a couple of years on the main Grand Prix tour. Nicole Schott from Germany. Berenice Maite, 11th in the Ross Telecom Cup, looking to improve here. Yuna Shiraiwa, a newcomer, just 15 years of age from Japan. Alina Zagitova, there she is, the winner of the Cup of China and the favorite to win overall here. It's a brilliant lineup, and great that we have so much interest early on in the first group, because sometimes it is kind of a warm-up group.
Yeah, it's a seeded draw here, so the skaters are placed into the groups dependent on their world ranking, and they can accrue their world ranking points at various different events dependent upon the strength of the judging panel and the technical panel. Zagitova just out of the junior rank, so she's not yet accrued enough points to be in the top group in the senior events, but I suspect that tomorrow in the free skate she'll find herself joining the top contenders.
Paulina Edmonds, who had a lot of injuries last year which held her back, has moved back hopefully into the big time. Runner-up in the US Nationals a couple of seasons ago. So she'll be first to go. We're going to take a quick break. He'll be back with the action when you return. There she is, Alina Zagitova. Lives in Moscow. Oh, she looks great, doesn't she? Red hot favorite. She is the world junior champion, and of course she won the Cup of China in her first senior event.
Yes, and we saw there that she had problems with the jump combination. The short program fell on the second part of the triple loop and the triple loop combination, but no problems here. And even that, displaying such confidence to piece together the two jumping passes. She went straight from the loop combination up to the flip.
It was fascinating. It's easy to read too much into it, but Evgenia Medvedeva last week in Japan, for the first time, showed a little bit of frailty, and I wonder if she's got Zagitova in the back of her mind.
And Polina Stritskaya, the other Russian that she trains with, and effectively I'm sure that Medvedeva has helped to develop their progress, these youngsters, because they will look up to her. And in fact, Zagitova credits Medvedeva as one of her idols, and then that will have had a huge impact on her development.
Yes.
And perhaps closing the gap.
Yeah, there's nothing like beating your rival
Yeah,
or your idol.
Yeah, and it's very possible this season is an exciting one that we can't predict quite as much as we thought we could after Medvedeva's performance last week. It'll be interesting for May Berenice here. May Berenice Maite, she's going to be trying very hard to solidify her position as France's #1. We'll see Lorine Le Cavalier in the second group. And these two girls are very tightly against one another. May Berenice came out on top at the French Masters earlier in the season, but last year it was Lorine who was front runner for France.
Six ISU Grand Prix events, as I mentioned earlier on. Each skater has a maximum of 2 events to choose from, and then hopefully the aggregate marks enable them to make the Grand Prix finals, which are in Nagoya in 3 weeks' time. But the only one from this group who has a shot at making it through to Nagoya is Zagitova.
Yeah, I think if Zagitova has a top 2 placement here, she'll be guaranteed of a place in the final.
Yes, second place would do it, third place might do it.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it figures out. Ashley Wagner competing next week. Some of the others, when we're at Skate America, that's when we'll know for sure who places in the top 6 ladies.
Shiraiwa, a newcomer on the scene. Obviously Japan have high hopes of Mai Mihara, who's going to go in the next group. We'll be looking for a podium place.
Mesdemoiselles, l'échauffement est terminé. Veuillez quitter la piste, s'il vous plaît. Merci.
Mihara very disappointing in the Cup of China, finishing in 4th place there. So we're ready to go. It'll be Edmonds first for the States, then Nicole Schott for Germany, Mai Berenice Maite for France, Yuna Shiraiwa for Japan, and finally Alina Zagitova for Russia.